Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ketemu lagi di podcast Ecuin, Broadcasting the Ideas. Besok itu tanggal 30 September. Dan kita semua tahu tahun 1965 kita ada kejadian di mana ada penculikan terhadap 6 jenderal dan 1 perwira. Dan mereka harus gugur oleh gerakan 30 September yang diprakarsai oleh Partai Komunis Indonesia. Banyak sumber sebenarnya yang saya baca, saya telah saya gali dari banyak sumber. Tapi ada satu sisi yang menarik untuk uh, tahun ini mungkin ya, karena sudah hadir Chat GPT. Chat GPT itu menarik gitu, karena dia menggunakan AI dan dia mengumpulkan semua data yang dia tahu, yang dia kolek, dan kita bisa meminta pendapat dia untuk bisa menceritakan menurut versi dia gimana. Tapi ingat, ini jangan dijadikan patokan. Kita hanya mencoba ya, menelaah atau menggali dari sumber yang berbeda. Ini menarik. Sekali lagi ini menarik dan kita akan coba mulai ya. Hello Chat GPT.
Hi again. What's on your mind today?
Tell me something about what actually happened in Indonesia in September 30, 1965. What do you know about it?
The events of September 30th, 1965, in Indonesia marked the beginning of what's known as the 30th September movement, Gerakan 30 September, or G30S. It was a critical moment in Indonesian history, leading to widespread political upheaval and a significant shift in power. The G30S was a failed coup attempt by a group of Indonesian military officers. These officers claimed they were acting to prevent a supposed plot by a group of generals to overthrow then President Sukarno. In the early hours of September 30th, they kidnapped and murdered 6 high-ranking Indonesian army generals, including General Ahmad Yani, the army's chief of staff. The coup plotters blamed the Communist Party of Indonesia, PKI, though the exact role of the PKI remains debated by historians. The aftermath of the coup attempt was far-reaching. General Suharto, who was not targeted in the killings, quickly moved to suppress the coup and restore order. This marked the rise of Suharto, who eventually took control of the country from Sukarno. Suharto and the military accused the PKI of orchestrating the coup, which led to widespread anti-communist purges. Over the following months, it is estimated that between 500,000 and 1 million people were killed, including PKI members, suspected communists, and ethnic Chinese. The events of 1965 effectively ended Sukarno's leadership and ushered in Suharto's New Order regime, which lasted until 1998. It remains a sensitive and complex part of Indonesian history, with debates about the true motives behind the coup and the extent of Suharto's involvement.
Okay. Do you think there's some kind of inside job or international involvement? Do you think?
There's a lot of debate among historians and political analysts about whether the events of September 30th, 1965 were part of an inside job or involved international forces, particularly the United States and Britain. 1. Inside job theories suggest that Suharto, who quickly took control after the coup, might have known about the plot in advance or even played a role in it. Some argue that he used the chaos as a pretext to eliminate the Communist Party of Indonesia, PKI, and seize power. This theory points to how swiftly Suharto responded, quickly organizing forces to suppress the coup while Sukarno seemed unable to act decisively. 2. International involvement theories often center on the Cold War context. Indonesia, under Sukarno, had close ties to the Soviet Union and China, which worried Western powers like the United States and Britain. These countries saw the growing influence of communism in Indonesia, particularly through the PKI, as a threat. Some declassified documents suggest that Western intelligence agencies were monitoring the situation closely and that the CIA and MI6 may have supported or at least encouraged Suharto's rise. Both the US and Britain had a strong interest in seeing communism defeated in Indonesia, and after the coup, the anti communist purge was carried out with little international objection. For years, there have been allegations of CIA involvement in backing Suharto, or at least facilitating the anti communist purges, including providing lists of suspected PKI members. However, there is still no definitive proof of direct foreign orchestration of the events, though it's clear that the West supported Suharto's regime after he took power. So while there is strong circumstantial evidence and speculation, the true extent of an inside job or foreign involvement remains unclear and continues to be the subject of ongoing research and debate.
Okay, so do you think it's not really happen about inside job? So it just a conspiracy theory about inside job. So what do you think? Do you really think? What do you really think about Lieutenant General Suharto? Was he involved about to the movement?
It seems like you might be referring to something specific that I'm unfamiliar with, especially the terms insight jump and Lieutenant General Aswanto. I don't have any historical record of those names or events related to the G30S or the September 30th, 1965 coup in Indonesia. Are you possibly referring to a modern conspiracy theory or a fictional interpretation of those events? If you could clarify or provide a bit more context, I'd be happy to help sort through it. As for the 2D movement, I haven't come across that term in relation to Indonesian history either. Could you explain what it refers to? And I'll do my best to provide some relevant insights.
Well, I really do not have any evidence about that inside job theory, so just forget it for a while. Okay,
No problem. If you ever want to come back to it
okay,
or discuss something else, just let me know. What's on your mind now?
okay. About the international movement, is there any connection with pre-fort activity in that years?
It's a little unclear what you're referring to with pre fort activity. Could you clarify what you mean by that? Are you talking about a specific event, organization, or movement? If you're asking about a broader international movement connected to the events around the 1965 coup in Indonesia, it's important to note that the political context at the time was deeply influenced by the Cold War. Many movements and international efforts, especially by the United States and the Soviet Union, were directed toward either curbing or spreading communism. Indonesia, with the PKI, Communist Party of Indonesia, being one of the largest non ruling communist parties in the world, was a key geopolitical concern for both blocs. If by pre fort activity you're hinting at something more specific, please let me know and I'll try to connect the dots.
Okay, I don't have any evidence to about this. It's just an issue about the pre-fort, but some people connected with connecting with the that uh, tragedy. Okay, or let's talk something else. Okay.
Got it. It
Okay.
sounds like there's some
Uh,
speculation around those topics, but if there's no solid evidence, it's good to step back for now. What would you like to dive into next? Anything specific on your mind?
okay. I've read a book and it told me about that Mr. President Kennedy in that year, several weeks before September 30, was waiting for a meeting with Indonesian general, but it's untold that who is the general was. Do you know about this Indonesian general? Who is he?
The general you're likely referring to is General Ahmad Yani. He was a prominent figure in the Indonesian military and the Army's chief of staff at the time of the September 30th coup. He was involved in the political landscape of Indonesia under President Sukarno and was seen as a key military leader. In the context of U.S. Indonesian relations, there were indeed discussions and interactions between American officials and Indonesian military leaders during that period, especially concerning the threat of communism in the region. However, specific details about meetings can sometimes be unclear or not thoroughly documented. Yani was one of the 6 generals killed during the coup attempt, and his death marked a significant turning point in Indonesia's political history. If there's more you want to explore about that time or other figures involved, feel free to ask.
Okay. One last question. Okay. Some
Of
people
course.
thought
What's your
that
question?
Okay. Some people thought that Mr. President Sukarno was involved with that plan, September 30. Well, I have no evidence about this.
There
What do you
are
think about this?
theories that suggest President Sukarno might have had some knowledge or involvement in the events leading up to the September 30th, 1965 coup, but evidence is limited and remains a topic of debate among historians. Sukarno was known for his complex political maneuvers, trying to balance various factions, including the military and the Communist Party of Indonesia. Some argue that he may have underestimated the military's power and the extent of anti communist sentiment, leading to speculation about his role in the coup attempt. However, Sukarno was not directly implicated in the planning of the coup itself, as he was targeted by the coup plotters. After the coup, Suharto and the military framed the narrative in such a way that Sukarno was seen as part of the problem, which helped justify the military's takeover. It's a complicated situation, and much of it is based on interpretations of limited information. If you want to explore this further, let me know.
Okay, I will talk to you later about this topic after I have any evidence or more specific information about this. Okay, thank you.
That sounds good. Whenever you're ready to discuss more, just let me know. Thank you for the conversation.
Oke, itu beberapa pertanyaan saya sengaja dibuat singkat dan tidak detail banget. Kenapa? Karena saya nggak tahu nih ChatGPT itu bisa merecord. Saya menggunakan screen capture dan berapa lama screen capture bisa merecord percakapan kita. Jadi saya batasi sekitar 10 menit dan emang agak nggak terlalu memuaskan sih, tapi menarik banget komunikasi ini karena ini didasarkan pada data-data yang dia kumpulkan gitu ya. Data-data yang dia kumpulkan yang kita bisa saja lakukan diskusi, tapi sekali lagi jangan jadikan ini sebagai sesuatu yang valid gitu ya, karena bisa saja data yang dia baca juga kurang valid gitu. Tapi akan sangat menarik kalau kita bisa melakukan interaksi komunikasi yang sama-sama memiliki data yang tepat dan akurat gitu. Karena tadi pertanyaan yang dua pertanyaan yang sering kita dengar bahwa Soeharto, Presiden Soeharto, Letnan Jenderal Soeharto saat itu terlibatkah atau Presiden Soekarno terlibatkah gitu. Dan ternyata ChatGPT juga tidak memiliki data yang valid juga gitu, yang cukup banyak juga gitu, dan sehingga dia juga menganggap bahwa itu hanya isu, hanya teori gitu ya. Jadi kedua belah pihak, baik apakah Soeharto terlibat dalam hal ini, ChatGPT menjelaskan bahwa itu hanya konspirasi teori. Begitu pula dengan Presiden Soekarno, itu juga hanya konspirasi teori. So yang terpenting adalah bagaimana the next day, 1 Oktober, kesaktian Pancasila yang mengambil momen Gerakan 30 September. Kejadian 30 September adalah momen di mana sebenarnya itu adalah momentum di mana bangsa Indonesia dan negara Indonesia memproklamirkan bahwa Pancasila tidak dapat diganggu-gugat. Pancasila sebagai ideologi tidak dapat digantikan gitu, oleh gerakan manapun, termasuk yang terakhir pada saat itu, yaitu 30 September 1965. Walaupun kejadian sebelumnya juga banyak. PKI juga bergerak di tahun 48, bahkan 2 bulan sebelum 2 bulan setelah kemerdekaan, PKI juga melakukan movement gitu ya, dengan menculik beberapa menteri gitu. Dan itu sumbernya dari banjir darah karya Anab Apifi gitu ya, yang saya juga pernah melakukan interview dengan beliau. Ini sangat menarik gitu. Jadi momentum 30 September 1 Oktober 30 September itu sebagai momen terakhir siapapun, para pengkhianat negara, pengkhianat bangsa, termasuk selain PKI gitu ya. Dulu ada DITI, ada Permesta dan lain sebagainya, yang mencoba untuk mengganti ideologi Pancasila menjadi ideologi lain, termasuk Islamis dan lain sebagainya. Itu tidak dibenarkan, dan kita sudah membuktikan bahwa Pancasila sebagai ideologi, sebagai dasar negara, merupakan ideologi yang kuat bagi bangsa Indonesia dan harus dipertahankan. Itu poinnya. Oke, sekian untuk podcast kita kali ini. Kita akan kembali dengan tema yang lain. Podcast Join, broadcasting the ideas.
With their beautiful minds, we're building a world together where wonderful life shines. Let's move to the future.